A not-so-super Tuesday, March 3, 2020. For the Heart and Home podcast, I'm Sabah Fakuri. Experts caution that nursing homes could be more vulnerable to the coronavirus after the deaths of 4 residents in the Seattle area. There are now 6 total deaths related to the coronavirus in the United States, all in Washington state. As of Monday, there were 43 confirmed cases of the coronavirus in at least 10 states, according to the Center for Disease Control. Meanwhile, the Dow Jones Industrial Average surged 1,200 points yesterday. It still did not make up for all the losses last week, however. And the NBA told its players to avoid high-fiving fans and refrain from giving autographs. Meanwhile, in Ann Arbor, Dr. Howard Markel, the director of the Center for the History of Medicine at the University of Michigan, said, quote, "Right now, the best action is to be calm. All is well and carry on. You have a far greater chance of catching influenza this season and a far greater risk of getting hit by a car." If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain how I found out about this. It's free. It's on your app store. There's a creation tool that allows you to record and edit your podcast right now from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Please, I urge you, don't waste another minute. I wasted 3 years. I attended all kinds of events to learn all the steps. I was so confused, and it was right here. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Do it now. I begin this morning in Tennessee, where severe storms overnight caused damage across that state, affecting buildings, roads, bridges, utilities, and businesses. Here's a report this morning from NBC Today.
First, NBC's Sam Brock on the scene with the very latest. Sam, good morning.
Devastation in the Nashville area. People stunned by what they're waking up to this morning. So far, at least 5 confirmed deaths, and the Nashville Fire Department saying it has responded to 40 structure collapses with the damage widespread. Overnight, reports of tornadoes tearing through parts of Nashville, leaving behind a twisted path of destruction with multiple fatalities. The deadly twister blocking roads, destroying cars, and downing utility poles, plunging people into darkness, leaving more than 50,000 residents without power. Emergency crews assessing the damage after the tornado slammed the area that left some neighborhoods looking like war zones. Local schools reduced to rubble. Homes and businesses shredded by high winds. A home security camera capturing this funnel cloud. One resident at this apartment complex in the Germantown neighborhood says the twister caused complete chaos, scattering debris, causing the area to be evacuated. The powerful storm system moving through Nashville, crumbling this popular concert venue, destroying everything but this mural, which says, "I believe in Nashville," leaving many here grateful to be alive.
The Elections Commission said tornado damage to polling stations is unknown as poll stations opened in that state at 7 a.m. local time for Super Tuesday. Downtown Nashville, Mount Juliet, and Germantown are reporting extensive damage and at least 9 fatalities because of tornado damage in that state, where at least 2 tornadoes touched down in central Tennessee. Metro Nashville public schools, courts, and transportation are closed today. To the east, in Wilson County, closed schools for the rest of the week. Election polling sites at schools were expected to remain open as well as district offices. One tornado in downtown Nashville damaged at least 48 buildings in that city. The public has been asked to avoid the airport John C. Toon in West Nashville because several of the hangars were destroyed and power lines are down. The American Red Cross of Tennessee tweeted that a shelter was opened at the Nashville Farmers Market north of the state capitol. However, due to a power outage there, people were forced to move to the Centennial Sportsplex, according to the Tennessean report. 44,000 were without power after Nashville Electric tweeted that 4 of its substations were damaged in the tornado. In politics, 14 states head to the polls this Super Tuesday, where a third of the delegates are at stake. Today is Super Tuesday and super important because 1,300 delegates are up for grabs. A delegate is awarded to states based on their total population. It's a person who's selected to represent the interests of that state's voters at the Democratic National Convention, which is being held on July 13 this year. Candidates need to win at least 1,991 of the 3,979 delegates from all the states to win the party's nomination. And it does not have to do with who gets the most votes. And that's the person that will be the nominee for the Democratic Party and will face the current president, Donald Trump. Senator Bernie Sanders of Vermont is the frontrunner, with only 4% of the delegates handed out after the primaries in Iowa, New Hampshire, and South Carolina. But former Vice President Joe Biden is gaining strength after a big win in South Carolina on Saturday. Mike Bloomberg, skipping the early primaries and spending millions in ad campaigns, is now on the Super Tuesday ballot. Both Pete Buttigieg and Minnesota Senator Amy Klobuchar quit the Democratic presidential race. She's the third to drop out following Tom Steyer's exit on Saturday. It was a marvelous Monday for Joe Biden as he benefited with endorsements from both Pete and Amy. Now, the states. In Alabama, they have 52 delegates up for grabs. Arkansas, 31. California, 415. It's their first Super Tuesday. Colorado, 67. Maine, 24. Massachusetts, 91 delegates. Minnesota, 75. North Carolina, 110. Oklahoma, 37. Tennessee, 64. Texas, 228. Utah, 29. Virginia, 16. And Vermont, 99 delegates are up for grabs. It's not clear what's going to happen in the state of Tennessee due to the overnight deadly tornadoes. Hopefully, it's not too bad. For the Heart and Home podcast, I'm Sabah Fakuri. Thank you for listening, and I will talk to you tomorrow.